Hello, trading is closed on January the 5th, 2017. What I'd like to do today is to go over yesterday's calls, make a little review of how the MEJT system would have helped a person trading today, and finally make the call for tomorrow. We had a few calls for today. We looked for a day that started out low and rallied into the close. That happened. Typically, the low comes about here. Sometimes you have a split point, and that's what we had here. You just divide this in half, and that's the low, and that's the high, and all the times are on time. We had a MEJT target of 2269.13. That was a good support resistance level, and we actually closed within 13 cents of that price. Let's go over how the MEJT system would have helped someone today. As you recall, at yesterday's close, we've been rallying straight up almost into the close. It would have been very easy to say we would go 2 points higher, which never happened. Instead, the system said we go 2 points lower, and even though I said it wasn't a tradable call, that's really the whole point of how the system helps you. Most systems like to advertise how much money it helps you make. The main strength of MEJT is it dramatically cuts how much money you lose. If you're tempted to go long at yesterday's close, MEJT is telling you lower prices should print today. During the day, if someone didn't believe me that it was going to be a low to high day, at this point it would have been easy to misread the pattern as a high to low day. But all the way down, MEJT said this drop was not for keeps. Here are the false moves. It said that move is false. If you finally believed it, and here's the rally, it says that rally is false and won't stick. And that after this time, we're going to return to this price and find support under it, which we did. We finally hit the target specified by the system. Here's the white dot, and you'll notice there was resistance over the target. Even if you never acted on any of these signals, it certainly would have argued against a person making the wrong move. My feeling is if the market's heavily trending in one direction, or I should say strongly trending in one direction, it doesn't matter what system you use. It's when you get a wishy-washy time like this one that MEJT really shines. I should say that I said yesterday that wasn't really a tradable call. Usually when I say that, the market closes a little change, and that's what happened. Anyone who wants to learn the system can buy my book. You can get it from Harriman House. You can go to Amazon. It costs under $50. That's less than one handle. I think it's pretty cheap. The problem is, I can tell you from experience, that most people who use the book don't understand how the system works. And that's the real advantage of the software. The software not only makes the calls, in a separate window, it explains the reason behind the calls and teaches the system to you. Now, the software costs a lot more than the book, and the reason is that writing software is a very tedious, time-consuming process. I'm going to paraphrase Goodman Ace, and paraphrasing him, I'll say writing good software is easy. Just pull up a chair, open a vein, and begin. And it just is a very time-consuming, tedious process, and that's why it costs more. But I think anyone who used it today could have avoided losing a lot of money, and with a little input could have seen that this drop wasn't going to stick, and could have participated in the rally all the way up to the target price. Anyone who wants the software, it's available from TradeStation. You have to go to the left-hand side. It says Trading Apps. You have to click on Trading App Store. Here something should come up. You have to go to the search menu. Have to go to the search menu, type out MEJT. Well, it's not letting me type today. Just type out MEJT, press the find button, and it finds it for you. All right, well, enough of the advertisement. Let's go into the call for tomorrow. Okay. When this point is low like this, it's a very negative formation. It tends to lead to lower prices. When this formation does not close at the high of the day, it tends to lead to lower prices. All that negativity would be erased if we gapped up tomorrow and promptly traded over this high. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's go over the reason. I've been pretty consistent since the 13th of last month with my target. The price target was 2274.50 area. The high was 2277.53, all-time high. That's close enough for me. This is the high. I'm calling this a leading diagonal triangle. If it is a leading diagonal triangle, that's wave 1, and this high should hold. I don't think it'll hold forever, but I think it'll hold for the next move. Any close over 2259.80 tomorrow is going to be bar 9 of a 913.9 sequential sell signal on the weekly chart. It can close early, but I think we're going to hold the 2277.53 price and probably most likely close over the 2259.80 price. If that's true, and if this is as negative as I think it is, we should within 3 weeks' time hit 2175.03. Here's the daily chart. This was the day on which we called the high. That high has held. The week after Christmas was a down week. That's a negative sign. It almost always leads to the next big move being down. It's well known that the first 5 trading days have a high correlation in their direction with the direction for the whole year. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. What's not so well known is my observation that the first 1 to 2 trading days of the year tend to be a false move, and that means within 2 more trading days, I think we will likely undercut the 2238.83 close. That would mean, since we have 2259 and change holding Friday, we're looking for a drop of over 20 points Monday. Monday's pattern, I think, will look pretty close to this one as far as the times. A big drop at the open and trying to rally all day long. That means after Friday's close, if I'm right, we should have a big drop right at the open on Monday. So the call for tomorrow is this is a negative pattern. Lower prices should print invalidated if we gap up sharply, which I don't think will happen. I think it's a negative pattern. I think 2259 and change will hold. I think that we'll have a big drop on Monday, probably right from the open. And that's today's call.